Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and today's video I'm answering the question, how does it work when you have a third-party lawsuit when you're trying to sue a subsidiary and a parent company? In other words, what if you have to sue more than one company that are related to each other in a lawsuit? How does that work, and why would that ever come up? So this is actually a viewer's question. I don't remember whether it was a man or a woman who submitted the question, so they didn't really give me very much information, right? But here's what it comes down to. What it comes down to is what you can prove, right? So a good lawyer is going to identify after, whether this is a truck crash case where it comes up very often, or a construction injury case. I would say those are the two kinds of cases where it comes up. And it usually comes up in an injury case where there are, very, very serious injuries. Why does it come up? Well, in the construction example, you might be working for a company on a job site, but there might be, your company might be a subcontractor, and there might be a general contractor working on site, and there may be several other contractors or companies working on site, right? So, that's one reason why you need to identify all the companies involved, because if it's really serious, profound injuries, if each company has $1 million of insurance, it's not going to help you, right? And you only sue one that's $1 million. But what if you're crippled? What if you're 32 and you can never work construction again? And you're ill-suited to a desk job or learning a different trade? Well, that puts you in a really bad situation. So a good lawyer is going to investigate every possible entity that's responsible. So one way of doing that is making sure that you know about every company that's working on the job site who may have something to do with causing your injury. And a lot of times it comes down to who is in charge or has some responsibility for safety for either the entire job and or the particular situation that causes you to be injured. Now, another way to do it, which is the topic of this video, is what if you have a small contractor? It's literally like 5 guys, and they have limited insurance, but your company is a subsidiary of a major corporation with a $20 million, $20 million worth of insurance, and your subsidiary company only has a small amount of insurance. Well, then a smart attorney is going to sue your subsidiary, they can't even sue your subsidiary. Let's say it's a third party. It turns out that a small company of 5 guys and a limited amount of insurance were negligent in causing your injuries. If that subsidiary company has a parent company or an associated company with a lot more resources and a lot more insurance, then lawyers will rely on what is called the law of agency, okay? What is agency? And I know that this is technical, but it's really the only way I can answer the question. The law of agency says person or company A hurt you, but company or person B is responsible, or you had a reasonable expectation that company A was actually company B, right? In other words, company B was branded, their signs were there, they controlled aspects of the workspace, that kind of thing, right? We see the law of agency in situations where an individual is driving for a company, or he's driving for a distributor, and this is the trucking example. You'll have an owner or operator in a vehicle, or you'll have a guy who's working for one company in a trucking situation where there's negligence and somebody gets hurt. Well, you could sue the individual driver. you could sue his little operation, but owner-operators are individuals, and a lot of the times they're just hauling freight loaded by somebody else, and they have limited economic power. So if a distributor or a shipper or one of these other larger companies tells them to haul freight, they're going to haul the freight, whether it's safe to do so or not. So the law of agency comes down to control, okay? And the other thing for you to know is that the law of agency is very complicated. There are a lot of cases that sort of explain the fine details of agency and what you have to prove, and it's state by state, right? So Illinois has actual agency and apparent agency. There's a ton of case law. There's appellate and Supreme Court cases in the state of Illinois, usually in construction or trucking kind of injury cases, or in contract cases where there's a contractual dispute between corporations. And the main thing is you need to make sure you're working with an attorney who knows all of that case law, or will sit down and read it and understand it, right? Because if you were frozen and suspended in animation as a lawyer 20 years ago, you wake up today, somebody hands you a case with one of these issues in it where there's a parent and a subsidiary, the lawyer just goes to court and files on it, and they haven't brought their knowledge up to date, they're going to screw it up, right? A lawyer needs to read all the case law and be current on their knowledge about what to prove, how to prove, and what not to do, in order to make sure that both the subsidiary company and the parent company are both legally liable for the negligence, right? And again, listen, if we're talking about a broken leg that heals and somebody's got $500,000 in insurance, this becomes moot. It is highly unlikely that the broken leg, once healed, is ever going to give you serious problems, right? But when we're dealing with somebody who loses a leg, can never return to work, or is killed, or is paralyzed, an injury lawyer literally has to go after every penny, has to identify every potential defendant, put them on notice, get a lawsuit filed immediately, and then go after them, right? And that's because you need the insurance money. You need to get your client that insurance money to ensure that they can, live some semblance of a happy life, or at least not a completely unhappy one. So, those are the basics of, I wish that the guy who requested the video asked for a little bit of more information, right? Because there's direct negligence where you can say company A did this, this, and this, and therefore they're liable. What we're talking about here is company A did something, but company B is really responsible for it. Company B is really calling the shots. Company B is, company A is just an agent of company B, and company B is the one that is really calling the shots. So both company A and company B are or ought to be legally responsible for the harm they caused. That's, in layman's terms, or as much as I can explain it like a normal human being. It's a complex topic. Anyway, the point is, if you have these sorts of concerns, you got to make sure you got a good lawyer who understands how all of it works. And the more serious the injury, the more important it is to identify all possible responsible entities, whether it's a trucking company, a trucking broker, a dispatch company, an owner-operator in the trucking context, whether it's several subcontractors and a general contractor with a parent company or several parent companies. These are all things that a lawyer has to look at the more serious the case. So if you or somebody has been involved in a serious trucking case or a serious construction case with serious injuries, it is definitely time to talk to a lawyer. If you or anybody you know needs a lawyer, you can always call me. Free consultation, 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. You can call anytime, night or day. If I'm asleep, they text me and email me. You're going to be talking to operators who I have personally trained. So they're not going to waste your time. They're going to collect the information I ask them to get, provide it to me, and then I'll call you back. And you can say what time you want to call back. Again, 100% free, no charge, no obligation, okay? If you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, that's cool. I've got you covered. There are two really cool tools on my website. One is called the Case Cash Calculator. It tells you what the cash value of your case might be in settlement. The other one called the Good Case Calculator. In that one, it tells you whether you might have a good case or whether you might have a case that has some challenges, right? Both of them are awesome, and I'll tell you why. I'm getting a ton of positive feedback and thank yous from people for throwing those up on my website for free for people just like you to use. First, completely free. Second, 7 multiple choice questions you answer off the top of your head. No research, you just answer the questions, and within 10 to 20 seconds, you get custom information specifically about your situation, all without talking to a lawyer. How cool is that? It's pretty cool, if I must say so myself. I built them myself to help injured people, so by all means, make use of them. You can use them as many times as you want. Share them with friends. So enjoy. If you enjoy my videos, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to be notified of new ones as they come out, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Finally, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, it would really help me out. If you enjoy my videos, or you're a current or former client, or you got a consultation, or if any of the tools, the calculators, the information, the book, the DVD, the injury report, any of the stuff that I provide or these videos helps you, if you would give me a 5-star review on Google, I'd really appreciate it. There's a link for those, the Case Cash Calculator and the Good Case Calculator in the description below, but there's also another link to leave me a 5-star review. All you do is you go to that link on your phone, tablet, or PC, click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit, you're done. 5 seconds of work for you, but an invaluable favor to me that I will always appreciate and I will never forget. So if you don't mind doing that, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your viewership. If you know anybody who might enjoy the channel, please turn them on to it. And if you have other questions, check out my YouTube channel. I literally have over 200 videos where I explain various aspects of how injury cases work. And if you have a question you'd like to have answered on video, just leave it in the comments section below and I'll shoot you the video. Okie dokie. So thanks again for watching. Hope you and the family are well, but if God forbid anyone you know has been involved in a work accident, car crash, truck, motorcycle, bus, train, any kind of motor vehicle accident, or dog bite, bar fight, nursing home abuse, medical malpractice, if it's an injury caused by somebody else, that's what I do. I'd love to hear from you and I'd appreciate the referral. So that number's 312-500-4500. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.